The rolling of distant thunder retreats over the plains. The silence that follows is that of the breathless lungs now scattered across the battlefield. Soon, the sun will rise and the scavengers will feast on the fresh carrion. But no meal shall be made of the 3 remaining survivors. Though battered and torn, though weary and depleted, our heroes rise from the ashes of war like 3 throbbing phoenixes. Bernhard, son of Terry, wielder of the great hammer of Norse legend. Matteo, wiping clean his ruined scimitar of unknown numbers of souls offered to its slashes. And Wilhelm, drained of mana, casts a final spell to heal and cauterize a gaping axe wound on his thorax. The first sound of morning sweeps across our heroes with the call of an early rising robin, the utterance so foreign and familiar in this desolate landscape. The low hum of a war horn is heard from beyond the nearest elevation. Low reverberations of drums and marching crests the death-covered hilltop, as fatigue and dread wash over our heroes. To flee? Retreat? After all they've done, after all they've sacrificed? Or stand their ground and fight, and perhaps meet the fate that so many others have done on this field today? Or, and hear me out, or they record a podcast. My name's Jake.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Matt.
And this is Qualified Nonsense.
Damn, Jake, save some pussy for the rest of us.
Yeah. I'm getting all hot and bothered. I wipe my scimitar with whatever.
With whatever.
These loins.
Should have added
Welcome back.
one of those.
Yeah.
Boom.
Should put a warning in there and dry yourself off. Ooh.
Yeah. Your towels should have been handed out. How are you guys doing? Welcome back.
Doing
Yes.
well. Rocking and rolling. Thunder and lightning.
What's been
We're
good over the last many hours it's been since we've last discussed anything?
I grew up my mustache more.
Nice. It's looking sharper. Swing. I think last episode we talked a little bit about working from home, and Matt, you're working from home. Brandon, you're working from home all the time, right?
Right.
Do you guys have? And I'm also working from home all the time. Do you guys have particular not schedules, but what's it called? I had it in my head earlier.
Routines?
Yeah,
Routine?
routines. What are your
Oh,
daily routines for working from home?
You want to hear? My wife doesn't listen to the podcast, so I'm happy to tell you. I get them out the door. They get to before care at 7 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually sit at the table, do some recruitment stuff. And then after they leave, I actually peace out to the couch. I put my feet up and I sit on my laptop and I do all my stuff there. And after that's all said and done, I kind of do like house chores in between. My work isn't so like regimented that I need to be at the computer all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I can be near my phone. But yeah. And then I usually go to the gym. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I come home.
Is that like a lunchtime gym time thing? Or
No,
like a
it's
pre-lunch or
like-
post-lunch?
Yeah, like 10 a.m. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. What about you, Brandon?
Yeah, I'll get up, then I'll work out for about 35 minutes, and then I get in the shower, and then I grab something to eat, and then I usually start working. And then, Chris has been working from home too, so we'll do lunch together, and work until...
We are not giving a good case to the work from home. situation. Like, what do you guys do? I don't know, whatever I want.
Well, is Brandon? Is that where is this your workstation where you're doing your call from?
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, I do like keep pretty consistent hours
Yeah.
Monday through Friday. So, I mean, I, need to be available most of the time. So, I mean, I don't really have the luxury of, I mean, it's not a problem, if I have appointments or whatever, I can leave, but I usually just have to give someone a heads up. But
Yeah.
But you, Jake, because this is like relatively new for you, right? You were reporting.
I did work from home for since COVID in my in my 2 jobs ago. And I had a decent schedule, but the job itself sort of started falling apart, so it became really difficult to motivate at work, because it was pretty clear that the end was near. And then I was working a couple days a week from home and 3 days a week in the office in my last job. So I didn't end up really developing a good set of habits, especially because my work sort of, at least in my last job, was very like response heavy. Like being in customer service is just like you have to be ready to roll, and then when you're in it and potentially for a really long time. But then there are other days that you have to sort of, like if it's a quiet IT issue day, it's like you have to motivate to do projects that are on the far on the back burner that no one really has made an effort to prioritize. So then you have to sort of like motivate to do it, which is in itself sort of a difficult thing. And now in the role that I find myself, I'm an individual contributor with a lot of like authority, I guess, or like the autonomy to make
freedom.
Well, freedom, yes, but also like I have to be a self-motivator for things that I don't need to seek a bunch of approval for. I just need to do the things. But it's a lot of responsibility, and not that I'm complaining about it, but anyway, all of that to say, like this new role, I haven't quite figured out my schedule, in part because it's like an asynchronous company, but I haven't really figured out my schedule. So I was interested in what you guys had to say, because
have you tried waking up at noon? I'm just saying,
No.
like, I'm going to be most effective if I get all the sleep I can.
No, I haven't tried that.
Oh.
I feel like that would work for maybe a day, and then they'd be like,
I mean, I think there are people like that who like they just work better at night, and so they just kind of screw around during the day, and then at night they just work all night.
I mean, your brother was kind of that way, Jake. Like he was more of a night owl, and maybe that's when his creative juices flow, and that's the realm he exists in. But that's
I will say I do really like working at night and on the weekends, because there's no one around, and so you're not distracted by emails or people pinging you, or just kind of like the daily, like day-to-day tasks that you have to do. You can focus usually on just like one thing,
right? Yeah, I do enjoy a very clear-cut task or project with like pretty clear guidelines, because that's where I'm most efficient. And yeah, at night it is easier to sort of lock in, or just like rather like when you're not being disturbed.
I used to like that, but I think I'm more of a early morning person, also because a lot of our reps that work with us are in the Midwest to East Coast, so they at 6 o'clock our time, it's already 9 a.m. their time.
You can hit them up while they're starting their mornings.
Yeah, yeah, I can do it from bed, really.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, good question.
Should we get down to the The dirty business.
Take a siesta and come back.
Oh yeah, siesta first. Wake up late.
Ay. And welcome back. Feel free to drop us a line at qualifiednonsense@gmail.com or connect with us on our socials. Now's the time on the show where we take on Reddit's most pressing questions by finding the top trending questions, randomizing them, and answering them here.
Bring it on, Reddit.
Our first question comes to us from Ask Reddit, username Kinetic Clones. Ooh. They ask, who do you have absolutely no sympathy for?
Rich people?
The Confederacy of these here United States.
I guess, I mean, like generals and stuff, probably not. But I don't know. I think there were a lot of like poor people who were like conscripted into the army that, you know, didn't really have a dog in the fight, but other than just geographically, that's where they were located.
Here's the thing on that, though. That's every war ever.
Yeah.
But yes, you're not wrong.
Depending on the day, I'd also say kids. Like, I don't have any sympathy for you. It's like, you get meals, you get to go to school, I put you to bed, I make sure you're safe, and you want to whine and complain about all this shit? Go to bed. I don't got any sympathy for you.
Matt, they're developing. Listen, their brains are developing. That's how they.
I said on any given day, right, when your patience has been worn, I would say kids.
I'm saying that as if like I'm like on my high horse. We had this conversation with our kids tonight. I said those exact words. I said, we give you guys food. You guys regularly have the meal options that you like. You have desserts that you like.
I find myself saying more often than not, like, if you fall and hurt yourself, I'm not going to feel sorry for you. Because it's like
that's something different. I'd like to be quoted.
I've already told you. Like, I've told you, don't do that.
I'm not driving your ass to the hospital.
Kinda. It's like, I'm not going to feel sorry for
broken
you.
Leg
like,
I'm going to swing my arm, and if your face is in the way,
yeah, no, no, not like that.
Geez.
No, but it's like, I've told you 4 different times, don't do that. If you fall and you hurt and you knock out your teeth, I'm not going to feel sorry for you.
If you stick this butter knife in this light socket.
No, not like that, like this.
Also, like,
okay,
dogs. I don't feel sorry. Like, I don't feel sorry for like dogs that are treated well. I don't know. Like, you got a good life and you just get to lay down and sleep all day and eat.
Yeah, but what do you mean? Like, you're not gonna feel sorry for them? Like, if they get hurt. Like, you don't feel sorry for them for laying down. Like,
I guess, like, it depends. Like,
the situation.
I feel like we need to define this more.
Yeah. I don't know. Like,
well, like, what is the dog doing? Or like,
fuck that dog. Relaxing. Fuck
right.
you.
Like, if the dog goes out and it's doing something dumb, then sure. I wouldn't feel sorry for him. But if the dog's laying there and it gets like cancer or whatever, sure.
Well, I don't think like a dog just existing you're supposed to feel sorry for, but like, do you just mean like like a dog who is living a life of privilege?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
So
you said rich people, roof over your head. You're just actually talking about rich dogs, rich kids.
Yeah. Fuck those things.
Fuck those things.
I don't know. Like, what do you guys not feel sorry for?
I guess along the lines of rich people, I don't really feel bad for investors who've lost money, unless it's through like scams or something. But investing money is inherently risky. So if you take on that risk and you lose the money, I don't have any sympathy for you.
But that's everybody. That's anybody that exists. Like, you have a 401k, or you're self-employed and you have a 401k that you do yourself, or you invest in the stock markets, which everything is wrapped up into.
What about that Petco thing that happened a few years ago?
What's that?
Brick and mortar stock shorting that occurred.
Oh, the GameStop stuff.
Oh,
I'm sorry, not
GameStop?
Petco.
Yeah,
GameStop.
GameStop and AMC.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing. Like, if you're
Yeah.
putting a bunch of money,
To lose it.
I was
I mean,
tickled pink
it's
by
the
it
same.
because
Like,
it's
like an investment is a risk, and like you don't put in the money that you're not comfortable losing. It's like gambling, basically.
Right.
So do you not have investments, Brandon?
Well, no, I have a 401k, but I put in an amount that I'm comfortable, each paycheck, I'm not putting my whole paycheck in there, but a portion of my paycheck is going towards that.
It is interesting. A lot of financial advisor, of which
I'm not saying don't invest. I'm just saying
I'm not a
if somebody
financial advisor.
were
But-
to, like during COVID, when like all the landlords were complaining, like, yeah, owning a building is an investment, and yes, is a global pandemic one of probably the lowest risks out there, like lowest likeliest risk, like lowest likely. What am I trying to say? Smallest, like the most unlikely risk
Least
to happen.
likely. Least likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, least likely risk to happen. Yes, but it's a
It's a
risk
risk.
nonetheless. And
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the people that, especially, and I brought up the GameStop shorting because I feel like there are either players or tools, I guess, that only a few have that others don't have, that are leveraged to sort of game the system. I particularly enjoy when those systems fail, just because I think that it's sort of like cheating at cards. And if a cheater gets caught with their pants down, that's good business. That's good news for me. But yeah, I mean, I have investments, but I definitely think the stock market is super sleazy, and even like mutual funds stuff, like low risk stuff. I've got a low risk
But they have
IRA
to
or
be.
something that's like.
But they have to be for everybody.
What do you
Right?
mean?
It's a necessary evil for everybody. Like you have to invest.
I mean, only
And if you don't, what would you suggest that somebody does?
well, I mean, you could just save cash, I guess, or
but that's a
I mean,
only
there's
the
there's no-
Social
there's no-
Security's money.
But there's no return.
Right.
Social Security could very well not exist when we're ready for it.
Yeah.
I mean, the question is, who do you have no sympathy for? I don't have sympathy for people. I'm not saying I have like investing is wrong or anything like that. I'm saying I have no sympathy if you lose money on an investment.
Because
I'll
by
throw this one out
definition,
there.
it's an investment that is
Right,
that there's
yeah.
inherent risk. I get that.
I'm not
on board with
suggesting
that.
don't. If you, I mean, if you have absolutely no tolerance for any risk whatsoever, losing a dime, don't invest your money anywhere. But
But that's
Put
the
this
whole
one out
point.
there.
Yeah.
I have no sympathy for like social media influencers when they like have a fall from grace or they're not popular anymore. I just don't care.
Yeah,
Like, too bad.
I think that about celebrities in general. Like, I don't have sympathy for celebrities, whether they be artists or personalities or actors or whatever it is, because it's a shitty trade-off, and I agree. Like, a lot of the exploitation is fucked up in these various industries, but also
But
like
it's a-
they're
it's a- I mean,
raking
it's
it
a-
in, and there's a trade-off. Like,
It's a thing
whatever.
of vanity. So if it fails, that's what you wanted, and sorry, it didn't work out.
Yeah, but also like the trade-off of, like, let's say someone is super successful and they just they don't like that they're treated differently than other people. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, there's like popular musical artists that are very vocal right now about feeling like their fans don't respect them as human beings. And I think that's fucked up. But also, I'm kind of like, I don't have sympathy for you, really, because like you're raking it in, you can avoid it. All of these artists can pretty much shut it down if they wanted to and just live on their wages. And sure, if they have a calling to make more art, but like that's the trade-off right now. That's the ecosystem. And like so many of them are so stuck, I think. I mean, I'm a former actor, and having been in that sort of industry and that environment with those people, I don't know. I feel like it's really easy to be in an echo chamber of your own sort of woes, and it's just pretend. Like, I don't know. It can be pretty. I guess I'm losing the words, but I don't have sympathy for.
Well, I think you could
many
still
of them.
be like a name that people recognize, but like if you're a working actor who does, like maybe you're a character actor who you're one of those like, oh, it's that guy, like I know that guy's face, but
Mm-hmm.
you are consistently working, but just in bit parts here and there. I don't think you're like,
I think
making
you also
a ton
gain
of
points
money.
I think you gain points by being the like average person. Like I just saw something today about like the top 5 actors that live the poor life, quote unquote, and they were talking about Willem Dafoe and Dustin Hoffman that like
Right.
live in modest homes and they don't follow designer brands and they choose not to go out and they drive themselves to the grocery store. And I was like, I think those are the people I respect more versus here's the Tom Cruise
Like the people who are in it for the craft.
yeah, yeah, like the people that
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if people who are, I also know tons of actors who are just making a living or like trying to make a living and like sort of chasing that big break or whatever. And that's fine. And if they're chasing their craft, that's fine. But I think what it comes down to is that you see people making a big show of wanting to be treated normally in like $10,000, necklaces or whatever, or like 3 foot long nails or something like that. You know what I mean? Like really, really putting it on and then being like, what? I'm normal. I'm just like you people.
Yeah.
You
I'm
people
just a
that
brand ambassador for this Louis Vuitton.
yeah,
Like
I sort of fart
it's
on
like
that. I'm like,
the
whatever.
fuck you are.
Yeah.
You know exactly what you're doing.
I mean, I guess it's
to
like
the point of the question. Like, I just don't have sympathy for them. I don't think you should spit on them. I think they're fine. I think good on you for speaking your mind. But like, I also don't.
Yeah, but if they
I
want
don't
to have
care.
the woe is me mentality, it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, get fucked.
Yeah, and not even get fucked. I just, you're okay. It's okay.
yeah, I don't know, like I guess like if you are, let's say, a musician, like and you want to make a living doing that,
Mm-hmm.
do you and you like you're a singer songwriter and you want to make a living doing that, do you just keep trying to like play at bars in your town, or do you
No. You can absolutely chase. You can
yeah.
absolutely chase the dream, right? And that's fine. It's the everything has
I have the same
everything has
problems as everybody else. It's like, no, you don't.
sure, and also like the everything has a trade-off, right? You're sacrificing something in the job that you're working right now. It might not be much, it might be like the most perfect fit, but you're sacrificing something and you're making a deliberate choice there. And for my money, I just think that there's sometimes people who take their especially in the and this isn't really fair because like obviously people like singers and artists and actors and whatever have the public spotlight on them, so it's okay, fine, they get a little bit of sympathy from me, but like not a lot.
Well, I mean, I do think it is. I do think there is an industry, and like with paparazzi and maybe some overly aggressive fans who do make being famous uncomfortable, and yeah, it probably does suck to a degree. Like you can't go into Safeway without everybody like looking at you and like whispering to the person that they're with, like, "Oh, do you know who that is?" Like that kind of thing. Like, but I mean, they're like champagne problems.
Yeah.
Well, right, I guess that's what I mean. It's they're if people are whispering about you and in multiple locations, there's champagne problems.
I guess I would also say like high profile CEOs and executives of like, oh, this really sucks to work for United Healthcare or whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, but your job is to kind of like do shitty things and you piss off a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's like you could easily not do that. You could go be an executive somewhere else or in a different industry or pursue different ventures. It's like I don't really feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
If you're disliked by the public, that's what you chose to do. You didn't have to accept that job.
Before we started talking about celebrities, Matt, you mentioned like somebody getting like canceled or whatever over a post, or like a celebrity, if they post something on social media. And it made me think about like I don't think I have sympathy for people who lose their jobs over posting stuff on social media.
Oh yeah.
Fair.
Me neither. Yeah.
You said what you said.
Yeah.
I think the world is still developing around the internet in a lot of ways, and I don't think it's understood just how much information about each and every person who's used Facebook, for instance, is out there for everybody to have. And that is alarming in a big way. I don't know if you guys have traveled recently, but I think it's like international travel is pretty spooky. Actually, even domestic travel is pretty spooky right now because it's all face recognition stuff, and they're just feeding into a big old database where they know where everybody is. And this sounds really conspiracy theory-y of me, but that's 100% what they're doing with these new camera devices. And there's just like a lot of information out there about
the movie Black Bag that I mentioned in the last episode. There's a scene where like they use like the British intelligence satellite to like track this conversation that's happening outdoors in Vienna. Like they're like have a like satellite, and I mean it's a movie, so but it seemed very plausible. It's like, okay, zoom in, and then it's like, okay, we have this AI lip reading technology, so we can see like hear what they're saying based on their lip movements, and it like so
yeah, not too far off the beaten path.
So I was going to look this up because I don't remember the dates.
But even with like Google Earth, you can get pretty close to, like your backyard or whatever.
Well, and what I was going to mention is that the oh shoot, I don't have the information in front of me, but the SR-71 Blackbird stealth bomber, high altitude, super fast stealth bomber that was sort of all the rage in aeronautical science over the past like 30 years is like a next generation sort of aircraft that was I believe it was created in the 70s. And the military, I think this is also going to sound conspiracy theory like, but the military has technology that is well beyond, or maybe not well beyond, but like beyond or meeting science fiction right now. And I think that's scary stuff. But they
have like Google Earth, that's available to everybody, and you can get a bird's eye view very close up of anywhere on the planet. So if that's the technology they have available to for civilian use, then I'm sure they have
that.
I just want it to be known, I have not brought up any of this stuff. You guys brought this all up yourselves.
And I have no sympathy for the intelligence state.
Yeah. Speaking of fun conspiracy theories, I saw yesterday, I think at work, someone was sending around the
someone at work
Japanese
sending around conspiracy theories.
Korea. I don't remember what entity it was. It might have been the Chinese, some Asian military group had a.
Just leave it at some Asian military group.
Well, I don't remember what it was. It was either China, Korea, or Japan. I don't remember what the headline was because I didn't.
It was one of them.
Look into it. But they've got drone birds that flap. That they're painted like
I've
birds.
Seen those. Those are fucking cool. I kind of
they
want
are
one.
cool. But it's also that the whole Reagan conspiracy of having all the birds be drones. And like the top comment of that was like, I'm sorry for everyone I called stupid when they said birds were fake.
But it's just going to feed into the whole like now, but is the Earth flat? I think it might. It might be because birds are drones. Now you're just going to feed into that whole like.
I like that jump.
Can't hang with those conspiracies.
Well, here's some popular answers on the who do you absolutely have no sympathy for question.
Yeah, okay.
Top
Let's
answer: scam artists, neglectful parents.
Ooh. Wait, can I do one more? Can I just add one more real quick?
Yeah, okay.
It's your podcast.
Mega church pastors. Zero sympathy. Fuck them.
I mean,
is that on there? Is that on the top?
Careful. Who's listening to this podcast?
Fuck them. I don't care.
Okay.
I got no sympathy for you. Unless you want to donate to this podcast, then God bless you.
Then assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about like neglectful parents. Parents who stop talking to their kids after a while. Influencers who post prank videos and run into the wrong person to get their ass kicked.
Yes.
Yeah, I have no sympathy for them.
Yeah.
We just talked about that when Brandon was in Portland. We just talked about that.
Yeah, those people. Child molesters, sure. Anyone who abuses animals. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what are we doing? Nazis. Yeah. I'm really going out there.
Bad management getting fired.
Bad management getting fired.
Family vloggers. You people suck. Exploiting your children who can't consent for money.
Yeah.
I do.
There's a documentary about that that just recently came out.
Here we are trying to like rack our brains, and they're just like putting out like the truthful answers.
Human traffickers and enslavers.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
the Democratic Republic of China.
Yeah. The Confederacy.
The Confederacy.
People who are rude to servers.
Yeah.
But also,
I mean, sympathy in what way? I guess
I know
because
sympathy,
like if they got hit by a car or they
I'm not calling
got stricken
911
with cancer or something. You wouldn't.
If they're on fire, I'm gonna go use the urinal, fart, come back, and then watch them burn because I'm not.
You were rude to a server once. I'm not gonna help you.
And that's because Jake, you just don't fart in public. That's rude.
That's right.
You only fart at the urinal.
That's right, because I'm a gentleman. I'm a Christian.
All right. Next question we have here.
Next.
Moving on.
If you didn't,
End of segment.
If you got a disease, what disease would you want?
Well, this
When you're
should
on
be
your
a fun one.
deathbed, what's going to be your last thought?
Is there a god?
So this is another one from Ask Reddit from Cause XX999.
Oh,
Six in there?
666 backwards.
Yeah,
I mean, upside down.
it's an upside down 6.
If he was
Yeah.
a bat, he'd be scary.
What's socially accepted when you're skinny, but socially rejected when you're fat?
Ooh,
Twerking? No, wait. That's the opposite.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess skinny people can't really twerk as well, but I would probably say along those lines, like being like trying to be like sexy in public, because like it seems like when a fat person does it, it's like for a joke or to like be funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like wearing skimpy clothes or
like the Chippendale sketch with Patrick Swayze and Chris Farley.
yeah,
right.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, the whole point is being juxtaposed. Like the skinny one is the sexy one, and the
Can you read the question one more time?
What's socially accepted when you're skinny, but socially rejected when you're fat?
I mean, exercising with like your shirt off or like minimal clothing,
or just exercising in general. Like
that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good point.
Like if people like yell at like a fat guy jogging down the street, and it's like, well, what do you want me to do?
yeah.
But I don't have sympathy for them. They can crash their car. Fuck them.
They can get cancer.
I'd also say probably like eating anything in public that's not considered healthy. Like
that's kind of what I was gonna say. I was gonna go down the like going through the drive-through line, like.
Yeah, or just getting an ice cream cone or whatever. Like,
yeah, I feel like there's those like social judgments on like, should you be here, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
I was like, fucking, they could do whatever they want. I don't know.
This person says, I had a girl mumble fat people are incompetent when she had ordered her cake wrong and insisted I was the fuck up because she's thin and pretty and I'm fat and meh.
What?
I had a middle-aged woman with kids in Walmart tell me I was too fat to wear the dress I was wearing. Just a cute sundress, nothing special or revealing. I guess, that's another thing is like wearing certain clothes.
Yeah, any clothes.
That's a very like Walmart experience too.
Yeah.
Just like unhinged, just say whatever comes to the front of your mind.
I bet there are professions too that,
like being a PE teacher or something.
Yeah, or like I guess being a PE teacher or like a personal trainer or something like that. But also like I think well, I would say in business also, like nah, maybe not. I don't know.
No, Jake, let out your prejudices.
No, I'm just trying to think of I'm trying to think of situations in which I've seen like poor behavior around that sort of thing.
I know it's one of those I know for a fact I am experience it probably daily, or I at least see it daily, but I can't think of anything for the life of me.
Well, this person says, having been fat and skinny in my short life, everything, having been fat and skinny in my short life, everything, you can and will be demeaned for anything you do if you're fat, including losing weight. And this person said, I second this. People that knew me when I was bigger, then lost weight, swore I looked sick when I was skinny too.
You just can't win.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it seems like if you are fat, it's a moral failing, or like there's some sort of like character flaw.
Mm-hmm. What about just being identifying as a woman, just generally speaking, because I feel like women get more scrutiny for
That's
weight
a good point.
than men do. I mean, women get more scrutiny than men, like
Period.
like full stop.
Mhm.
But do you think that it's more so with women because of how much? Because I'm trying to think of like with men's sort of like fashion and men's or like male sort of targeted advertising. A lot of it has to do with less of it has to do with like looks, basically. Um, whereas a lot of there's like a huge industry for like makeup and clothes that is targeted towards women that is pretty much entirely made up of like skinny models. Like the whole modeling thing paints such a specific picture of what a woman should be. At least in
Well,
the
and I
United
mean,
States.
like, most stores will only carry certain sizes, and
Yeah, you have to go to like
um,
a specific
It's kind of interesting where
store.
we're at now, though, because like the dad bod, quote unquote, is widely accepted. The year of 2025,
Yeah.
and I also feel like the traditional supermodel, like the super skinny, is also somewhat not rejected, but like not the gold standard for what beauty is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
especially
feel like
right
there's a
now, like
weird,
everybody likes fat asses. So
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, dad ass.
Apparently, there's a resurgence of ultra skinny models. I saw an
Oh,
article on this in January or February that there was like a concern. Who knows what? I don't. I didn't read the article. I just saw it as a headline, but that there's like a concern because the sort of big France brands and the big US brands are having their like the models for their season is like, the percentage of their models are have decreased in weight significantly. So
I don't know. That's something I can't get behind. I just don't find it appealing
but
either.
even like shopping for as a man for big and tall clothing, like if I were on vacation and I, you know, shit my Dockers, I couldn't just go to H&M and buy a pair. I'd have to find
A big dog
you know,
store.
well, or like a Kohl's or a J.C. Penney or something. But like,
right.
um, yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
but I don't know. Like, it is interesting because like I this past week I've started taking Zepbound, and uh
What's that?
one of the weight loss injectables.
Okay.
Um, the pen that you
Mm-hmm.
stab yourself with. And it's interesting talking. Like I've been open about it. Like I know some people are less. It's whatever. Like however you feel about it is fine. Like if you wanna take it, or and tell people, I think that's great. If not, that's your business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm choosing to be open about it just because I don't know. I think it
Oh, maybe
helps.
opportunity for us to like think, oh man, Brandon's like all coked out. He lost all this weight.
Well, I mean,
What's it?
one thing I also think is like it's very expensive. So, like, yeah, why not tell people that I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
like I'm spending the money? Like, I may as well brag about it.
Brag
But
about it. Yeah.
uh, yeah, so it's interesting with that. Like, I think that it's gonna kind of change the. I think those drugs are going to change the way we view I think it's going to create like a kind of a class system, more so than what we have now, where like obesity will basically be a poor people issue. Like if you can't afford this medication,
Which is weird because it used to be the opposite of like, the obese were
Yeah.
revered as being like rich and they had all the food.
yeah,
Yeah.
it meant that you could afford food and not have to labor.
Yeah.
It's all various pendulums. I think gender is a really interesting one with regard to that, because if you look, have you guys ever seen those like time lapses of AI generated, like the 10th century versus now, and how styles have changed, and like the gender, not gender, but like I guess the social sort of gender performance that occurs is pretty interesting. That sort of toggles back and forth. Brandon, the I don't know anything about this drug. What is it? I know historically,
It's
like,
in a crystal
weight.
form, and you heat it up in a spoon. And then, no,
You huff it up your anus.
Nice.
no, it's
It's like, are you familiar with Ozempic and how it works?
No, but I guess
So
I'll.
Ozempic
I'll
is
have
like
to-
kind of the beauty, or the, what do you call it? Like the posh, what everybody's doing to lose weight right now.
Okay.
It's a generic version of that, but it's a weight loss supplement.
well, it's not generic. It's made by Eli Lilly.
Well,
It's a name brand
right.
one.
Right.
But it's terzepatide is the main ingredient. Semaglutide is the ingredient in Wegovy and Ozempic. So they're both GLP-1 agonists, but the terzepatide has something else, some other compound along with it.
Which were
Um,
originally created for diabetics, correct?
Yes.
But come to find out, it has weight loss properties, and
Yeah.
the consumer now can use it for weight loss supplements.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I am getting my insurance to cover it, so
That's nice.
there's that. But
Nice.
so like insurance does approve it for weight loss, but you have to meet certain criteria.
I've slowly been putting on the pounds over the last 10 years or so, and during our Costa Rica trip, I had an interesting moment, because I knew I was getting a little bit heavier, but we went on the zip lines, and it was really fun through this sort of like tropical rainforest or cloud forest in a place called Monteverde. And at the end of the zip line tour, there's a what they called a Tarzan swing. So basically, you would just get clipped up into the harness that you were already in, and then you would basically dead drop, fall, and then swing, and then eventually be like stabilized and then released. But you had to climb these stairs to get to the top of this pedestal thing that was several flights of stairs. And I got to the top, and they're like, "Oh, how heavy are you?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm 210 pounds." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, you can't, like 200 pounds is the limit." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, no, okay. I mean, if there's a limit, that makes sense." And having that moment of being like, "Okay, I am too heavy for my height or my, whatever, or feeling just too heavy, whatever it was." But then I had to turn around and sort of like walk down the stairs and be like, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me." And everyone else is swinging down. It was just like a moment of humility that was like, I don't know, curious to me. And so since I've been back,
I had that happen on a ride one time at Knott's Berry Farm, where I couldn't get the thing down all the way. And they're like, "Oh, you can't ride the ride," and like everybody was like loaded up on the ride, and I had to like walk.
That's brutal. That's brutal. And it's like,
Yeah.
it's not. I thought, because at the moment I wasn't embarrassed, but like as I was rounding the
Was
sort
that the
of
first time
walkway,
that's ever happened to you?
yeah, and and that was like, I don't know, it was striking to me in a way, and I also had to like sort of rush around to make sure that I could video record my kids doing it, you know, so there was like, I don't know, there was like humility, but then also like
200
I had
seems
expected-
pretty low. Like,
yeah,
I don't think there's like most American men would be able to.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
I'm pretty darn close to that line, and I've spent most of my life at like 150. You know, it's
yeah,
like that. I
Yeah.
think that's a pretty low threshold.
yeah. No,
But I guess
and
it's
I
some
think
rope.
that's fair. I think that's fair. Regardless, it did have an impact, and so I've been a little more thoughtful about what I'm consuming, and also, you know, the benefit being that Oscar wants to exercise more, and I'm like, okay, I'll come with you. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, move.
I guess
But
that's something
interesting
about like
Ozempic, or
like
about
another thing I just thought of is like if like a skinny guy ate like a whole pizza, it'd be like, oh man, dude, you really like hungry or whatever. Like,
Yeah,
but then if like a fat guy ate a whole pizza or a fat woman ate a whole pizza, it would be like, oh geez, you got a problem.
right.
Yeah,
No,
good
you're
point.
right. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, like the
in
people that do the food challenges, like are
the food
inherently
challenges
skinny
people, yeah.
people,
Mhm.
are like, oh, awesome. But if a larger person did it, they'd be like, ooh, disgusting.
Yeah,
That's what I've
Like,
noticed
oh, you
about those.
would, or
Those. There's a lot of like people who sit in cars and like review fast food type videos,
yeah,
and like a lot of them are like in shape women, and it's like
oh,
I
see,
don't
because I
know.
have the opposite. I have like out of shape ethnic dudes. So it's like it kind of makes
There is
sense.
There is that one guy, I forget his name. He's a fat black guy that Dame drops. Is that
I don't know.
anyway?
I know the Asian guy and Luca Foods, but
Hmm.
that's it. That's pretty much it. And they look like people that should be reviewing food in their car. So I mean, it tracks.
I know the opposite is the whole the adage that's like don't trust a thin chef or whatever.
Yeah,
Well, Brandon
I
said
was going to
that.
ask like what would be the opposite where it's socially accepted while you're fat but rejected when you're skinny.
I feel like this is a trap.
Break dancing.
I mean, I do feel like some
Like,
of it
is
would
there
be
something that's
based.
like, oh no, this is only for fat guys?
Get out! They bounce them with their tummies. Do you guys remember that in the Disney Robin Hood where a Friar Tuck and
Friar Tuck, yeah.
Sheriff of Nottingham would like bounce each other back and forth? Classic.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, could you ever see like any depiction of like a skinny Santa Claus?
Oh, there you go. Christmas
Like-
time. Yeah, you're
Christmas time, yeah. Actually, there's a
too
Christmas
tall to be
story.
an elf, too skinny to be a Santa.
If you get that red dye 40 out of there, we could get a skinny Santa Claus.
God damn. There's a great night before Christmas story called The Cajun Night Before Christmas. Have you guys ever seen that one?
No.
It's about
Sounds awful.
it's
Sounds
it's-
awful.
it's about a skinny Cajun Santa Claus that comes and his reindeer are gators. It's a delight. You should get it for the kids.
Just some
because
drunk guy showing up at home.
it's not
Something cool, Jan?
it's not that's exactly it. You should get it. I read that to the my folks used to read that to us along with The Night Before Christmas, and it was great. My mom would do a big old accent. Everything was great. I don't know. I don't know what else would.
The reciprocal. I don't.
Well, maybe Matt, when I had my overalls on, you said skinny guys don't look as good wearing overalls.
That's true. Yeah,
That's it. Overall.
Yeah, yeah.
It's socially accepted to wear overalls when you're fat, but not skinny.
Yep. Yep. They
It's
just-
even
it doesn't-
respected when
doesn't
you're
look
wearing
right.
overalls.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, there's something about
Mario. He's a little chubby.
yeah, like
He's
wearing
got overalls.
overalls as a skinny guy is just kind of weird. Makes you look like a crackhead or something.
Sumo wrestlers. If
you
you're
go,
skinny,
yeah.
get out. Nobody wants you.
Yeah.
And also,
Do
like,
they
if the
have like
skinny guy was in there,
featherweight
I
sumo
was just gonna
wrestlers
say
or
that. Yeah.
they do, but they're big guys. Like the lightweights are
Yeah.
huge.
I still think they'd turn Jake away. Sorry, you're not heavy enough. Oh, go down those stairs.
Another humiliation.
Swing down this
Slip
rope.
down
You're not
this
heavy
udon.
enough. Well, listeners, if you have something that we're not thinking of, shoot us a message.
Yeah, slide into our DMs. What are some? I guess we were talking about the inverse. So
Yeah,
those were the comments.
butter yourself up and slide into our DMs.
Fat people do seem like they're better at going down slip and slides than skinny people, but
If you're skinny on a slip and
Brandon,
slide, get the fuck out.
Do you remember when we like rode you down the sledding hill? Do you remember that?
Yes.
we rode. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
That was on the mountain somewhere. We were sledding. We didn't have a tube. We didn't have like an inner tube or anything, so we rode Brandon.
So
down.
we used Brandon. Jesus.
They stripped me naked and greased me up. No. When I was in Leavenworth with your family, Matt, I took the sled down the hill.
Oh, that's
It
true.
was fun.
That's true.
I like sledding. Sledding's still good.
Sledding is a good time.
Yeah. I went on my belly though. I did. Like put the sled under me and go face first. Is it the skeleton or the luge what's the skeleton where you're
Skeleton's on the back.
Isn't there one where you're forward? Is that the luge?
I believe that's the luge. Oh no. The skeleton is on your stomach. The luge is on your back.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
The one person slide.
Winter
the one person,
Olympic
like,
sports.
When you go down the bobslide,
But
it's one person sleds.
Yeah,
There's a luge in the sky. I'm pretty sure it's the
if you
skeleton.
lay on your
go
back
on your
with
stomach.
your feet first versus on your stomach head first.
Stomach head first. Those people just are just itching to die. Whoa.
Can you imagine how like nothing there? Not only is it ice to begin with, but ooh, terrifying.
And scared. He's just a little. Exactly. He's just a little guy.
All right, boys. What do you think?
All right. Well, that has
Man,
been an
we did
episode.
Again, good job. High fives.
Thank you all for listening. Please support the show over at Patreon at patreon.com/qualified nonsense. Why haven't I recorded this? Then we just slip it into every episode. Watch us over on YouTube at youtube.com/@qualified nonsense. Also, feel free to send any questions or comments to qualifiednonsense@gmail.com or hit us up on our socials found in the episode description. After you've done all that, please rate, review, share, like, and subscribe on your podcast app of choice. And we'll see you back here next week for another brand new episode of Qualified Nonsense.
When you said, why didn't I record this? I thought we had spent that whole episode just bullshitting and not recording.
Oh, no, I just mean this outro.
I understand now, but I had this moment to be like, what?
Hopefully you'll hear this episode.